Hey guys, it's Monica B, creator of HeyMonicaB.com, a blooming resource on Ayurveda, and author of In Your Elements, a blooming Ayurveda guide to creating your best life. And today we are going to talk about exercise, specifically for the doshas. This is important because we might be thinking we need to do certain exercises because somebody says we should, or exercise for a certain amount of time because somebody says we should. But in Ayurveda, you know that it depends on who you are and it depends on your dosha. So let's do, we're going to do a little bit of, first I'm going to start out with why we exercise in the first place. Well, sweat is a waste product in Ayurveda, and so it's good to release some of those sweats and some of those the waste product through our sweat, through our pores. And so we create the inner heat, we build Agni that way, and we release what no longer serves us through sweat. That's why it's important to sweat every day. Ayurvedic exercise says, hey, sweat until you have sweat in your pits, sweat on your brow, maybe a little bit of sweat on your nose, and you're good. You don't need to be dripping with sweat, and in fact that can deplete tissues if we exercise for too long, too often for some people. Okay, so overall, that's why we exercise. We exercise to create internal heat, and we exercise to get rid of waste products through the sweat. Okay, the best time to exercise is, as we know, Vata time, right? So before the sun, eek, you all are like, that's crazy. But you know what? In the winter, when the sun doesn't come up quite as early, some of us are up at that time anyways because we have to, like work doesn't change, our schedule doesn't necessarily change at that time, but the sun does. So it's a good practice to build that in the early morning, because when we exercise, it's going to be easier when we exercise in the energy of Vata, which is the energy of movement. Right? We'll go with that movement. It'll be easier to move our bodies. If you don't believe me, try doing an early morning workout and then try doing a workout at like 9 o'clock in the morning. The 9 o'clock will feel much more sluggish during kapha time than it will during Vata time. So if you don't like that option, the other option for Vata time is in the afternoon. So you could do between, 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. and like sunset. But don't go after sunset, is not the time to exercise, and neither is at noon. Those are wrong times to be exercising. We want to do it during Vata time when we feel energized to do so. Okay, so let's talk about the doshas specifically, exercises for them. Vatas, you are going to need to have both feet on the ground for your exercises for the most part. You're going to want to run, jump, hop, run marathons, and all of those things. But for a couple of reasons, those aren't the very best exercises for you. The joints in a Vata person are not as strong. They don't have as much padding. So they're going to feel more of those aches and pains, and the impact on their joints is much more intense than it is on a Pitta person or a Kapha person, because they have so much more build to them. So it's going to be hard on a Vata's body. And not only that, but it creates that motion, that movement even more. So the energy of Vata increases, and they can get that racing mind, impatient mind, lack of focus, lack of clarity, worry, all of those things, as well as even constipation and stuff like that affects the digestion. So 2 feet on the ground Vatas, and that means really nice yoga practice. Walking is awesome. If you must do a little run or a little run walk, I'm going to encourage that you balance it out with proper stretching after every exercise session, or build in yoga like every other day so that you're stretching and flexibility. The key for Vatas is going to have strength and flexibility. So even weightlifting is good for Vatas, not super heavy weights, but like good weights where they can concentrate, move their body mindfully, and build that strength and build some of that padding and that foundation that they need. So those are great exercises for Vatas. Okay, Pittas, your job for exercise is going to be like stress release. So that's a lot of the reason why Pittas like to exercise. Now, Pittas would love to play a game, like they would like to do volleyball or soccer or something like that's competitive. And that's okay as long as it still feels like a game. If you're getting stressed and competitive about the game, Pittas, that is no good for you. Exercise for Pittas should be physical release of stress, makes them feel lighthearted, lighthearted, happy, relaxed. Biking is good. Swimming is good. Even a little jogging is good. But anything Pittas, if you can think of, especially in the summer, anything with wind on your face or anything involved with water to keep you cool so that you're not overheating. Specifically important for Pittas, do not exercise specifically between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. It's too hot. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate life. I used to run over lunches before I really knew Ayurveda. I used to go for runs over lunches during the day because it was the only time I could fit in my exercise. I was hot. My lips were hot. I couldn't even sweat. I was so hot. Like water wasn't coming out. I was just hot-faced, hot, dry, hated it. Don't do it. That's why. Pitta like increases likes. No good. Okay. If you do yoga, yoga's also awesome. So yoga is tridoshic, by the way. All the doshas can benefit. We all can benefit from yoga. It does create strength and flexibility in all of us because we want to be strong, but we don't want to be overly built, so we're heavy. We want to be flexible, but we don't want to be brittle and weak, right? So, but Pittas, absolutely no hot yoga for you. No hot yoga. I don't care if it's winter. No hot yoga for the Pittas. And when you're actually practicing the yoga, Pittas, let go. Enjoy the process. Who cares if your pose isn't perfect that day? It is a practice. So Pittas in general, carry that word around in your mind. Practice. I'm just practicing today. I don't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter. It's not a competition. It's not a race. This is enjoying the present. Okay, Pittas, there you go. Kaphas. Oh, Kaphas. You're going to have so much fun with your exercising. You're going to go cardio, dancing, grab a buddy. Weightlifting is not for you. You are weighted enough. You don't need more weight and solid ground and strength. You have that naturally. What you need is movement and lightness and fun and sweat for sure, because Kaphas have that water element in them also. So does Pitta. So Kaphas, you really need to sweat out those toxins, sweat out the waste products, right? And you'll feel so much lighter and create that heat that you so desperately need. The key for Kaphas is going to be to keep exercise fun. So if Kaphas go to like some strenuous exercise class because some Pitta person told them they should, they're going to go to the class and they're going to work out and they're going to do it because they're Kapha and they're going to do it with a smile on their face and they're going to be okay and they're going to be okay. And the next they're going to be super sore. And Kapha's going to be like, that does not feel nice. I am not doing that again. And they won't, because they're stubborn. And so they won't. And so Kaphas won't get into an exercise routine oftentimes because they're too flippin' sore they tried to do too much. So Kaphas, keep it fun, keep it light. Yes, muscles should be a little bit sore because it means that they're transforming, but no boot campy stuff, no heavy weights, anything that's going to Kapha is not going to like that. They're going to like Zumba class. Grab your buddies, go dancing, or do an online video where there's dancing. There's been a couple of you, some I have coached, some I have just emailed. I know you've taken my online course, you've written to me about the songs that you play when you're doing your Kapha workouts. So if you want, I'll put a Kapha playlist below this. You guys can all grab that. It's free. You just have to log into Spotify to get access to it. But super fun, dancey music, shake it a little bit, get a little bit of sweat on, Kaphas, have fun. So in general, those are the 3 different types of exercise for the Vatas, or for the doshas. Vatas, you're going to keep your feet on the ground. You're going to build strength and flexibility. Nothing high impact, nothing too crazy jumpy. Pittas, you are going to exercise with the intent of practice and stress relief. There is not anything heavy hitting to chase. There's nothing that's too intense. There's nothing that's too hot for your workouts. And Kaphas, you are going to move your body and sweat and make it fun and grab a buddy for accountability, and you're going to smile and it's going to be fun and you're going to really enjoy moving your body because you're going to feel so much lighter. In general, those are the exercise tips I have for all 3 of the doshas. I hope that serves you today. And as always, we're going to keep bringing this Ayurveda to life.